Hello and welcome to the Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm Nate Washburn. Thank you for watching. This week, the movie is from 1934, Cecil B. DeMille's Cleopatra, starring Claudette Colbert, Henry Wilcoxon, and Warren William, directed by Cecil B. DeMille. Now, it took me some time to do a Cecil B. DeMille picture. He is integral to the first half of Hollywood history. He was there at the start. He directed a movie in 1914 called The Squaw Man, which is agreed upon as the first feature film to be directed in Hollywood. He worked, directed movies, produced movies all throughout the rest of his life up until 1959 when he died. His last movie, the last movie he directed, was The Ten Commandments in 1956, starring Charlton Heston, which was a huge hit. DeMille was there at the beginning. He stayed successful throughout the rest of his life, and you really can't talk about Hollywood history without bringing up Cecil B. DeMille. Now, the thing with Cecil B. DeMille is it's really hard to find one of his movies to recommend that you watch specifically at home, because his movies, he's kind of like the Michael Bay of the golden age of Hollywood. His movies are big, they're spectacles, the scenery is incredible, there's battles, there's scantily clad women, there's just, it's these giant epics that if you see them in a theater on the big screen would be mind-blowing. But to see them in a home theater setup can be a little bit of a letdown because, you know, I like a Michael Bay movie just as much as the next person, but sometimes the story is lacking a bit or the performances aren't exactly there, and that's kind of similar with a Cecil B. DeMille movie. This film from 1934, Cleopatra, is a great place to start if you do want to see a Cecil B. DeMille movie, because it's a very good movie and the performances are pretty solid and it's a lot of fun. And also, it's short. The one that he's most known for, The Ten Commandments from 1956, is 3 hours and 40 minutes long. This one, Cleopatra, 1934, is 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's an easy commitment. It's a fun film because Cleopatra, real queen of Egypt, she ruled from 51 BCE until 30 BCE. She was entangled with Julius Caesar, with Mark Antony. She is just an unbelievable person and has this incredible story. And her story was turned into just many different movies, including the 1963 epic with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. Now, the reason I'm recommending this 1934 version of Cleopatra is because Claudette Colbert really, she gives a really solid performance as Cleopatra. It almost borders on camp, but you can tell that she's having fun. And what's great in this movie is that DeMille gets rid of all the fat. It starts and it goes. There's really no downtime. There's really no build-up. There's no backstory. DeMille assumes that you know the story of Cleopatra, and he really hits the highlights. And it makes for one entertaining film. This movie was nominated for 5 Oscars. It was Cecil B. DeMille's first movie to be nominated for Best Picture. It won only 1 Oscar. It won Best Cinematography. But it was Paramount Pictures' biggest hit of the year. So I want to give a little shout out here to Claudette Colbert, who stars in this movie as Cleopatra. She had one of the greatest years ever in 1934. She's one of the biggest stars of Hollywood's golden age, a little bit forgotten today, which is a shame. But in 1934, not only does she star as Cleopatra for Cecil B. DeMille, and Cleopatra is nominated for Best Picture, she was the star of a movie called Imitation of Life, which was nominated for Best Picture, and she was the star of It Happened One Night, which won Best Picture. She's in 3 movies that are nominated for Best Picture. She's one of the stars of the movie that wins for Best Picture, and she wins Best Actress that year for It Happened One Night. That is a banner year for any actor, any actress throughout history, and it happened in 1934 with Claudette Colbert. So if you are a fan of epic movies, if you like historical epics, if you know the story of Cleopatra, check out 1934's Cleopatra. It is a great entryway into the epic spectacle that is a Cecil B. DeMille movie. It's fun to watch, it's beautiful, and the performances are pretty good. Highly recommend it. It is this week's Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm Nate Washburn. Keep watching.